Good morning. Monday, July 27th. Hard to believe. My first reflection was back on April the 1st, and we were preparing for what Easter services would look like apart. Today's Gospel in Matthew 27 takes us full circle back to Jesus facing the cross. These few days represent the heart of Christianity. Jesus died on a tree. Now, the Romans had many ways of executing prisoners, so why a cross? Trees were scarce around Jerusalem at this time, so it would have had to been used over and over many times. Jesus' blood would have mingled with the blood of those killed before, the ultimate merging of humanity and divine. Now, God created trees both to be enjoyed and to benefit mankind. They offer shade, food, medicine, habitat for wildlife. They provide fuel and building materials. They absorb carbons and in return release oxygen into the air. They clean the air by filtering out pollutants, prevent soil erosion, and preserve water. Decaying leaves and bark nourish the soil and retain water so that other plants may grow. Because of this, planting trees may be one of the best and cheapest ways of tackling the climate crisis. Forests have a wonderful capacity to self-heal. In a fascinating study by Peter Wohleben and Suzanne Simard from UBC, they describe how trees talk with one another, connected by an elaborate network of fungal growth in and around their roots. They can ask for needed nutrients or warn of danger. Older trees nurture and feed the young saplings. They support one another and rely on one another for survival. And when the mother trees are injured or dying, they send out their wisdom onto the next generation. But they can only do this if they are not all wiped out at the same time. Now, the story in Genesis revolves around two trees, the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life, both at the heart of the garden. Adam and Eve were forbidden to eat the fruit of only one tree. By yielding to the enticement to be like God, they chose to do what was good in their own eyes. This resulted in a broken relationship with God. Now, the tree of knowledge represents the false tree of life, which led to exile from the garden. If they had eaten from the other tree, not forbidden, it would have brought life, to be forever in communion with God. Instead, they were banished from the garden, and we are separated from God. The Bible ends with a reference to the tree of life in Revelations as bringing healing to the nations. God, infinite in love and mercy, provided a new path to reconciliation. Jesus came as the true tree of life to bring God's healing into the world. The cross on a hilltop stood as a symbol of God's eternal love. The invitation is still to eat, to trust, and be transformed by Him. This is the symbolism of the Eucharist. Jesus says He is the vine and we are the branches. Jesus died and was resurrected, and we too are called to die to a life where we take control and surrender to the will of God, a life that is full and fruitful, sharing the fruit of love, joy, kindness, generosity with all creation. Jesus wrestled with God in Gethsemane, an olive grove, but submits, saying, "Not my will, but yours be done." Today, some trees in that same garden are 800 to 900 years old. It is possible that these trees are descendants of the very trees where Jesus in anguish prayed. Were the prayers and tears communicated through the centuries as a silent reminder of God's love? So Jesus, dying on a cross, has deep symbolic significance. Trees naturally stretch towards the light. The focus of Jesus lifted up was to turn our eyes heavenward, to see God at work, bridging our broken relationship through love back to the Creator. Its roots anchor it against storms. It is in being grounded, unshaken in the knowledge that as joined heirs with Christ, we share in the work of the furthering God's kingdom. God designed trees to benefit humanity. We made them into an instrument of death. Today we are destroying ecosystems and affecting climate change because of thoughtless leveling of forests. But God's grace will win over our neglect. The cross will have eventually decayed and returned to the earth in order for new life to begin. A seed dies, and from it, new life springs. From dying to our ego, we step into a new way of being. We hold the capacity to be a part of the healing of the earth and restore our relationship with the Creator and with each other. Pray with me, please. May we surrender our notion of having control and trust that all things are unfolding according to your will. Equip us with courage to be part of the healing, and may we ever walk in gratitude for all your creation. In reverence, may we walk humbly on this earth. And when this pandemic is over, may we say that this was not an ending, but also a place to begin. Amen. Be well. Go for a walk in nature and thank God for the incredible gift of trees.